Or if there's one thing about Paul Campbell is that this guy knows exactly how to combine a passion for the wild turkey with a career. But he's also a dad and an entrepreneur and a guy who is working on not only his own health, but how he balances it all. Are you ready for a great conversation that ties in a lot of things that we struggle with on a daily basis and maybe a few ways of how we overcome those? Episode 15 of the Fit to Hunt podcast, powered by Wilderness Athlete. Well, it starts now. You know, I love that you've combined this borderline obsession with a career path, Paul.
Very fortunate. Very fortunate. That's, man, I don't even know what to say to that. Like I had dinner with a guy the other day. We did like our daughters are the same age. We did like a daddy daughter dance thing, right? I was just telling him what I do, and he was like, dude, he's like, you combined your passion with a business. And he's like, that's amazing. You know, this guy's got, you know, he's retired from the Air Force. Great dude. But he just couldn't get over like combining passion with employment and business. And I was like, I guess you're right, man. Yeah. I'm very, very grateful and very fortunate, very lucky that I get to do what I love every day. Talk about it every day. 365 days a year. Talk about wild turkey hunting or history or heritage or culture or all of it. So
yeah.
Lucky dude.
So let's talk about that, right? I mean, let's dive into, because, you know, a year ago you were doing some things with wild turkey conservation. Now it's different. So break down what you're doing.
Yeah. So I was a 5-year employee of the National Wild Turkey Federation. Very passionate about that organization. I think every turkey hunter should be a member of that organization, should go to a banquet at least once in their life. I think the work that's done there is commendable by the organization, the members, the volunteers, and all that good stuff. So in September of 20, I left that job. I started a business with Brent Rogers and Nathaniel Maddox. It's focusing still within the wild turkey world, very much focused on wild turkey hunting, history, heritage, culture, historic preservation, and bringing that history and bring it to life. That is our mission, man, is to give that history, heritage, and culture a home.
So how did that conversation start? I mean, I know you. I mean, I know how much of a nut you are when it comes to really all things. I've seen that look in your eye. I saw the look in the eye when that bird came in Texas last year too. It was frightening and amazing all at the same time. It's like the wrath of God came down on this turkey. But so I know how passionate you are. When you decided to make a jump from an organization that obviously you love to this leap of faith, and I would call it a leap of faith, right? I mean, you know, you're an entrepreneur now, right? So that conversation, you know, from the time that you and I were hunting in Texas till September, what was going on in your mind, or what was the conversations like that said, you know what, we are going to go do this thing?
So first off, long beards don't leave, right? If there are two hunters, 3 hunters, and someone can get a shot, shoot them, right?
Right.
So I really wanted you to kill a turkey. It would have been my 3rd turkey assist of the week. You were front of mind. Yeah. 3rd turkey assist of the week.
How very hockey of you, right? That was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't get a shot. He was getting buggy, dude. I sent it, man. I wouldn't wait. Long beards don't leave.
No.
But yeah, man, to answer your question, the leap of faith, you know, it was started in April, actually, when Brent Nathaniel approached me through my work with turkeyseason.com, another business that I own. The 3 of us had some kind of overlap and realized that we had a mutual appreciation for the history and heritage of the wild turkey, and really felt a shared sense of urgency to preserve that. And so it took months. After the very first conversation in April, I told my wife, like, I'm going to quit my job. So at the end of the day, man, what it comes down to is I've got a really wonderful family. I've got a wife that understands that passion that I have for the wild turkey. And my wife is the one that really has provided me the ability to take this leap of faith and to quit a job and wipe out a steady source of income from our family and pursue this passion. So very grateful for that, man. Quite honestly, she's the one that has made this come together.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's cool. We were talking offline, you know, through chats. I do so for the listeners that don't know, there's a band of us gentlemen and that talk a lot of turkeys, and Paul has aptly named this the Rio Grande Band. I like that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I named our playlist headed down to Texas last year.
Was the Rio Grande Band?
It was the Yeah, it was the Rio Grande Band. Yep,
Rio Grande Band. I like that. So, like day to day, let's talk about the historical foundation first here. I mean, what exactly? I need to know more about this. So, I mean, you're taking history, you're taking passion. Is there an area of conservation and education to this as well, or are we focusing more just on the historical aspects of turkey hunting and conservation?
Yeah, really. So we are, for all intents and purposes, a historical museum, right?
Okay.
That is our business. That is our model, right? That's our mission. That's our focus.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not a conservation organization. We will never be a conservation organization, right? We need more conservationists out there. You know, what we do as an organization doesn't put more turkeys on the landscape. What we do is we remember the people that, that help put more turkeys on the landscape. We remember, the call makers and the hunters and the businessmen and the personalities in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, that kind of shape modern turkey hunting culture. And we think that it's important to save that. It's, there's what's the saying? If you don't remember history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Absolutely.
One of those things like it's the story of the wild turkey is America's greatest conservation story, success story. Going from just tens of thousands of turkeys across the country to, in less than 100 years, 7 million turkeys. There are more turkeys on the landscape now than there ever have been. So there's a ton of really neat experiences and moments and people and places and call makers and competition callers and businessmen and just hunters, right? Just everyday hunters that have seen that evolution of turkey hunting. And so that's our whole mission, right? Is to give that history, culture, and heritage a permanent home and bring that history to life through storytelling. Nathaniel Maddox, who's one of the other co-founders of the organization, he wrote and directed, narrated The Colonel and Fox and The Disease. So he's very, very talented and understands, how to tell those stories of turkey hunters and the sport that we love and bring it to life and show how people, why it should matter, right? And why it's important. One of the things that we're doing, we're releasing, I sent you the video, our Rio Grande Band text last night of our Wild Turkey Archives app streaming service that is launching. It's either going to be, we're still kind of stress testing the system, but it's going to be between March 13th and March 15th, 16th, somewhere in there. So people will see it online. We've got hopefully a pretty good program we're going to roll out, marketing program so that people can hear about it. But it is a streaming platform that we've got literally thousands of tapes and DVDs and films that we've preserved and digitized and put them all in one commercial free place, right? So licensing agreements with all of the major producers of wild turkey history content. We've got some really neat films that we preserve. So it's just kind of like the Netflix of turkey hunting, man. So it's really neat, man. I think people are going to have a lot of fun with it. We've got some stuff that people probably haven't seen. We got a lot of behind the scenes footage from the Night and Hail guys. I mean, hours and hours and hours of footage, and behind the scenes footage from the National Wild Turkey conventions from the years past, the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Just some really cool stuff that we're going to be releasing, but we've got a lot of cool videos loaded up, ready to go, man. So people can check out wildturkeyarchives.com to get signed up. You got to sign up on the website. That's one thing I want to stress. You got to sign up on the website.
Wildturkeyarchives.com.
Yep, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook and all that. Wild Turkey Archives, you can see it. But yeah, stress that. I can't stress this enough. You got to sign up on the website. Download your app of choice: Android, iOS, Apple, or Roku TV. Download any of those. You get access to all of them. But you got to sign up on the website and then sign in on the actual apps.
We'll make sure we get that in the show notes. So you mentioned there's two things that are running through my mind right now. First off, whether I read it or I hear it, and I'm going to mess this up, but where I think as soon as I start speaking, you'll know exactly. But it's that line from 10th Legion where Tom Kelly's talking about the first time that a turkey came to me on the ground. Whether you read that or whether you hear him, and I believe he says that in that documentary, Colonel and the Fox. I believe they play that, right?
They do.
Puts chills on it. I mean, if you love hunting these things, right? But here comes the stupid example. So Floyd the office turkey, right? So for those of you who aren't following us on social media, please do so. But at my office, there is literally a wild turkey with a rope on him that's just dragging the ground. He lives on a golf course. And what he does is he comes over to one of the office buildings that's adjacent to me, and he will look at himself in the window with the reflection, and he'll strut. Now, I'd like to think they have a little more sense than that, but he just looks at himself. Oh, he's a very vain bird. But
they all are.
They all are. Hell, if I could do that, I would strut too, for that matter. But dude, right. I went out the other day, and there's a light pole right there, and he was 8 feet away, and I just sat there and I just watched him, and he was paying no attention to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm mesmerized by these things, whether I'm hunting them or whether they're just cool. Deer, I said to someone yesterday, deer fill the freezer, but wild turkeys fill my soul. That's
100%.
the 100%.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put that on a t-shirt. Yep. So
yeah, man, that's good. That's it. That's how I feel. That's how I feel as well, for sure.
Right. So this app is launching how soon?
So I mean, as of right now, like we're less than a week away, man.
Okay.
So it's going to launch March 13th, 14th, 15th, somewhere in that time frame.
All right. Well, we'll make sure you tag us and stuff, and we'll make sure we share the heck out of that right through there. You told me the other day the shoulder was a little wonky. What's going on with you?
Oh man, so I've been dealing with shoulder impingement for over a year at this point, and it really comes down to what I've kind of pinpointed it with going to the chiropractor is you kind of lose focus on, I'm sitting at a desk, I'm typing, I'm all hunched over. When I work out, there's certain things that I like to do, and just getting those, the scapular movements, right? Getting those.
Yep. Just open that chest.
Yep. Exactly, man. Shoulders back, chest open, and it's just poor mechanics, and I fight with it off and on. And it's just like a valley, right? And if I'm like this app and website and everything, man, I've been spending 15 hours a day at my bunker, just typing away, like a freaking mongoloid. So, and I've dealt with it, and then I just get angry, and then I'm like, wow, I'm still strong,
Right.
And like bench pressing, that's something I have completely taken it out
because it hurts, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. It gets that impingement flared up, and it's just, again, I'm 43. Who am I impressing with a bench press? Right? Like myself and the people around me. I will say I've hit personal records in the last year on the bench press, so I'm happy about that. Never doing it again. Never touching it again, man.
It's like that person that ran a marathon. I've done it. No, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Never again. That's I hit funny. 305, never going back. Never doing a bench press.
It's impressive,
again,
Paul.
So
that's impressive.
Couldn't put my shirt on after that. But so yeah, it's been one of those I've told you, like, and like I need to figure out how to exercise, one, like to look good naked, right? That's the number one for all of us, I hope. Number two is to hunt turkeys efficiently. And then, but number three is to just be more flexible, to be stronger. In my chiropractor, he's like, he has this kind of this funny saying, when I talk to him, and it's like a chiropractor and gym and physical therapy all mixed together. It's really neat setup. And he's like, you need to work out, like, imagine like your hunting buddy, and this is his analogy. Imagine your hunting buddy like falls into a creek bottom and breaks his legs, and you've got to lift him out. I'm going to back up in case you use this video. He's like, are you going to lift your friend up like this? Or are you going to lift your friend out of there like this? Right? He's like, and for people listening, like keeping your arms, at that neutral position,
close
right?
To your butt. Right.
Exactly. And yeah, exactly. Close to your body. And so that's one thing I was just like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So just focusing on that, man. Like in your program, you've got the dumbbell presses, that I've just completely replaced bench pressing with those dumbbell presses and
Sure.
keeping them at neutral. And
Sure.
I have incorporated a ton of bands, which is one thing I've been wanting to talk to you about, man, is increasing, there's like the pal off. Am I saying that right? That's one that I do that all the
press.
time. That's
right.
Yeah. The pal off press and just using those same bands and incorporating what for me feels like some just funky, like movements, but it's amazing, man, how much better my shoulders feel if I go in and I have a hard workout. Like it hurts during it, like my shoulder hurts 2, 3, 4 days, immediately after that, my shoulders feel better. Just really just focusing on getting my back stronger and getting that range of motion. I mean, dude, it's to the point, like if my shoulder is at its peak, I can't put my arms on a squat bar. I can't put, like this shirt that I have on now, I couldn't put it on. I mean, it's just miserable. So it's really just incorporating, they're not just focusing on it, right? Like what do I need to do to make sure that I'm strengthening those, that upper back and those shoulders, and my posture's good. My mechanics are good, and it's a constant battle, man. But
it's super interesting. So a couple episodes ago, we had Ryan Fritz on. He's an exercise physiologist that also does a lot of strength conditioning for hunters.
okay,
And he and I are kind of cut from the same cloth, meaning, if you look at our program structure, there's always going to be a core activation. There's going to be some athletic movement or power, and then strength, a circuit and a strength. But adding in, and if you look at our programs, they're in there. Some have more than others, but an element of pre-rehab. So it could be that internal, external work. They could be something like a pillar movement, like either a plank or anti-rotation, like that Palloff, because you proved not so much of a point. But I walk around, even like at the office at work, and I call them, they're the cube dwellers. They're all hunched up. And I'm talking about people that are in their 20s that's got this hump in their back. And so, it's hard to offset 8+ hours, or in your case, entrepreneur, 15 hours a day. That gets to where you have to be very, very intentional with the movements that you're doing. So with that shoulder, we actually just shot a video yesterday, and I think you said it: mobility, stability, and strength. So we'll talk offline. We'll get some things going for you, and we'll make sure, because there is no magic Band-Aid to it, dude. But as far as like what you're describing, especially when you get into those 40s, tendons and connective tissue get really pissy really fast. Yeah. They just do. You're great one day, and then all of a sudden I hurt. But yeah,
man. I'll tell you. So it was November, like 15th, 16th of 2024. And the only reason I know that is because I was on Drummond Island, Michigan with our buddy Glenn Reich and Andrew Muntz. And I woke up, I'm like, man, my freaking shoulder hurts. And I couldn't hunt. I tried to climb in the saddle.
All right.
And I hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't lift my shoulder. And even just now, man, I get that little impingement, that little peak. But that was the first time. I was 41 at the time. I'm like, dude, what is this? This is bull crap, man. Like I'm too strong. I work out so that I don't. Here we are. Here we are.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You're staying closer to Ohio this year, correct? Are you taking the tour, or are you gonna stay closer to home this year?
I am gonna take a little mini tour, not as much traveling turkey hunting as I can. I really hope that I can make the Texas trip, man, with you and Jim and Steve and the boys. Just because, like you said, that fills my soul up, man.
Yeah, it does.
Is much or more than any hunt that I do every year.
Right.
What annoys me is, like, did you see the tag increase for Texas?
I did not. No.
Dude, it's like $350.
They caught wind of it now, haven't they? Yeah, that's a good place to go.
Yeah, the turkey. So before you could just do the turkey option, but that option is gone. You've got to buy the full license and the stamp.
And the stamp now.
Yeah, so it's like $350, dude.
That's fun.
But
that's fun.
It is. Yeah, it is fun. Yeah. So I really like. That's the one that I just like. I have to do, right. That Texas trip. I am taking. I'm going to Washington, the state of Washington, with a couple old turkey hunters that need some help killing Merriam. So I'm going to go out there with my real good friend of mine, Justin Dorr. We're going to do some turkey hunting with a couple old school guys, and then I've got another real good friend of mine from Alabama is coming up, Bud, and we're going to do Maine and Vermont and New York. Just do a 3-state stretch, which is still, dude, I get it, man. That's a lot more turkey hunting than a lot of people were fortunate to do.
Sure.
And I'm very, very grateful for that opportunity. And it's, again, it's like I get to mix work and pleasures. I understand. Must be nice. It is, man. And I understand that. But that a lot of people only get to hunt one turkey, and it might be maybe 3 or 4 times a year, on the weekends, man. What's T-Bone calling Billy Joe Lunch Bucket? That was me for 18 years,
sure.
And it's just been with the last couple of years. I'm fortunate to do this. So
I was telling Jim the other day, and so Missouri's a 3-week season, and I hunt a lot, but for some reason, like right now, a month can fly by in a blink. For whatever reason, those 3 weeks, they don't really fly by, and maybe it's because I'm in the field all the time, long, early mornings going until the evening, but I have trouble articulating this. It's just the best. It's just the absolute best. Deer hunting's fun.
It is the best.
But it's the absolute best, especially like going on to, it's like right now, with the new farm, we've got birds showing up. We're getting ready to do a burn. We've got burn lines installed. I mean, we're getting ready to light that place up here in a week or two, and we've already got birds there. Clover's coming up in the food plots. It's great. When Jim called me and said, due to, unfortunately his father passed away, he's doing a lot of stress going on in his life, and he just said, dude, I need to go to Texas. Do you want to go? And I just said, hold, please. Hey, Beth. And she's like, yeah, go. I'm like, we're going to Texas, right? Because he said he needed it. I think you agree. I need it. That's something too. Whether it be the landscape, whether it be the turkeys, whether it's the men that are in camp. I think it's yes to everything is what I think it is. My boys have become better men being in that Rio Grande band. So, Jim's bringing Easton this year. It should be a good time. It should be a really good time.
It's going to be a good time. What's great, man, is everybody has their Texas, right? It could be just a turkey camp with your friends, in your home state, West Virginia, Ohio, Missouri, wherever it may be. It's the people, I had a guy on, his name's Brent Vlakala. He runs the Woodsman Perspective podcast. And we did an episode last year, and he made this comment. I thought it was really neat. He said, everything I need from turkey hunting, I get before I pull the trigger, which I thought was pretty cool, right? And that's a perspective that you get just hanging out with people and the beauty. And that definitely, I think that comes with age. That wasn't something that I was like in my 20s. I had that phase one, Cuz talked about, I'm going to kill everything I can get my hands on. And we all go through that. And then I think it's up to guys like us, now we're those, graybeards, man.
Right.
That we talk about it and lead that next generation into it, and eventually you start to slow down a little bit and see the beauty within the environment that you're in, man. Whether, like I said, whether it's Texas or Southern Indiana, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Pretty. But for me, man, that Texas scenery is good as people ask me like, what's your favorite spots on? I've hunted a lot of states. I've hunted like 30 plus states.
Right.
Texas, hands down, is my favorite. Yeah.
I agree with you. Jim said that statement last year that he gets everything he needs. If the bird does it right, he gets everything he needs before the trigger is pulled. However, I'm going to take your point too, is that we don't let long bears leave. No, we're not
long bears leave.
We're not letting
long bears don't leave, buddy.
Long birds don't leave. Yep. Right.
Send it.
Send it.
I don't even know if you remember. So you were on my left. That turkey was, and for your listeners, he was coming down to our left. He was on just a gravel driveway, or like not driveway, but road. And we had like the perfect setup, man. Snuck in. It was windy. We could get in there. He was gobbling his brains out. And turkey's doing what turkeys do. He got off of the road, goes around some of that scrubby oak brush, and was on my side. Dude, just right in front of me, instead of just doing what he should. And there was another one up the top of the ridge. And I was like, Jeremy, shoot this turkey. And you were like, where is he? And he started getting buggy. And do you remember this? I was like, I'm sorry. and then I shot.
You did. You had that single shot. You had that single shot 20 gauge, and you said,
yeah.
I can't remember if you said I'm sorry or I'm taking him, and I just said get him, because the reality, what I was hoping though, is that other one would
come on down.
But no, that was pretty cool. Boy, he was an angry Rio. He wasn't an angry Rio for very long, because that thing piled him up.
There was a very, very lethal, efficient shot for sure. But he was gobbling like an Eastern, man.
He did it like he was supposed to. Yep. He did it like he was supposed to.
Yeah, just hateful. And that's I love it, dude. Just talking about that was a cool hunt to be a part of. So
well, if you remember that too, I mean, we went up there, we were working that bird, and then we realized that Jim was across the valley. So we had a couple text interchanges. He's like, go get him. So we actually had left. If you remember, we left and we hiked about a quarter mile that way when the text came in that says, I'm gone. And we said, we're going back, because that bird wasn't leaving. Yeah.
I was so mad. I'm like, dude, all that land, we booger his hunt up. Like, we're screwing around with his turkey. But to his point, it was like a 70-foot drop down the ravine, bunch of cedars. He's like, I'm not going through that. Neither was that turkey. So, yeah.
He was in Jim's meadow. That's what I call that up there. That one little plateau. It's Jim's meadow, man. So
yeah. Man, what a pretty place to kill a turkey. Do you ever, if you're ever deer hunting or like, turkey hunting or just duck, it doesn't matter, man. Like, you walk into an area and you're like, this place was made to kill a turkey in.
Yep.
This is so freaking pretty, dude. This is like, I'm going to sit here until something dies, because this was just made to kill a turkey.
Paul, I hunted a piece of property last year, and it's very funny because I had access to this 80 acres of mostly timber for a long time, and there was about a 700-acre piece of property that adjoined it. And there's always 8, 9. It sounds crazy, but I'm not making this up. 8, 9 gobblers right on the other side. So I found out through the nonprofit that I work for that one of the guys that attends a lot of our programs is a retired veterinarian. He owns that property, and I met him, and we were talking. So last year I got the opportunity to hunt this 700 acres, and this is a guy that bought this stuff super cheap back in the 80s. And all he doesn't even hunt. All he does is habitat work. And in the state of Missouri, I've not stepped foot on a better piece of turkey property. I mean, you get into places back in there where you've got, it's just, you gotta see it, right? But it's one of those things. It's kind of like when we talk about, hey, if your life depended on it, where would you take me to kill a turkey? I know exactly where I would go. There's a little open meadow. You're right on the edge of timber. There's a log road. There's scratching everywhere. I know exactly where I would take you if my life depended on it to have you kill that turkey. And I think we've all got those. We've got them in Texas. Yeah. We've got them in Ohio. I've got them in Missouri. Just those spots historically, or my dad's place even. I know where if you hunt 2 days, you'll kill a bird. You may not kill it day one. He may not even pay it, but if you hunt this spot and you don't booger it up, you'll kill a bird. It's just a matter done deal, right? So okay, so let's get back to how we find you. So Wild Turkey Archives.
Wild Turkey Archives, yep. Okay. .com. You can find us on the website or Instagram, Facebook, and all that. Just search Wild Turkey Archives. You can find me, Paul Campbell 322 on Instagram if you so choose.
If you so choose. I think everybody should choose because you're a delight.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Well, man, I appreciate you hopping on a random Sunday. Thinking about like the last few months, you know, all these podcasts and shows. I mean, you're turkey themed. Yeah. I can be a little bit of whatever I want to be, but I love the passion I have also with these turkeys. It's like shed hunting is great, but I usually take the first couple months of the year and I really talk to people about turkey hunting because that's what I love. Man.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, that's what I love. So I appreciate you hopping on.
No, man, my pleasure, dude. Happy to do it. Always willing to help, and we need to get you on a turkey season podcast episode here freaking soon, dude. Let's make that happen.
Just holler at me and we'll get her scheduled.
You got it, buddy. Appreciate you.
Paul, have a great day.
You too, Jeremy.
Paul Campbell is a fantastic dude. You know, and I met him when he was doing another podcast with a friend of his a few years ago. And at that time, I had no idea that not only would I end up helping Paul with his own health and fitness, but that we would become this good of friends who we talk on a daily basis. We turkey hunt together. And really, I've said it before, men need to be around men. And it's been fantastic these last few years. My boys being engulfed by not just him, but also with Steve and Jim and these guys that really have surrounded my boys and made them better. Which again, that's what this whole Fit to Hunt thing is about, is community and getting better. Speaking of that, this month we are doing a pretty cool special. You know, I've done or have been working in the fitness industry now for 28 years. That's a long time. And there are a lot of different ways that you can get fit, okay, that you can develop discipline, etc. But I'm going to tell you right now, we think we've got a pretty good blueprint. So throughout the month of March, if you purchase any of our DIY programs, heavy emphasis right now on the turkey programs, we're going to send you one of our free car decals, truck decals, whatever you want to call it, for absolutely nothing, right? Just a thank you for you trusting us with your health and fitness. Now, when it comes to the turkey programs, I actually went through a call last night with Truman Kinsey from the Mo Gobbles Facebook page, Instagram page, sorry, and he chose the Extreme Strutter, which is really designed for going after Rios and Hill Country or Merriam's out west. It's a tough program because he is going to a lot of places this year. They're going to really tax him both physically and mentally. But maybe you're not working out a ton right now. Maybe you're just trying to get a little conditioning. That's where our original Strutter program comes in. It's a great program to do as a standalone. it's a great program to do in conjunction with an existing workout. There really is no right or wrong, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Regardless of what you choose, if you're a little fitter today than you were the day before, I'm going to tell you right now, you're increasing your chances of filling tags. Maybe that's turkey in the spring. Maybe that's whitetail or elk or mule deer in the fall, right? Physical strength begets mental strength. And these programs, super affordable. And my friends, they will get you to help you get and stay fit to hunt without fail. So if you look at them, check us out on our website, www.stayfittohunt.com. We think you will like what you get. That's going to wrap it up for this month. We are in the process right now doing a lot of habitat work, planting trees, burning things, getting ready for turkey season. And I hope that you have had opportunities to get out. Maybe where you are, you're doing a little trout fishing, or you're doing the same, getting ready for turkey hunting, looking for some sheds. Whatever you're doing, we appreciate that you're listening to this, and we're going to keep cranking out that content. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. We thank you for being here. And as we sign off, you know the drill. We hope you stay fit to hunt. Thanks, my friends. Have a great day.